Okay, we're at our third attempt at recording this chapter for this book. So let's go ahead and get started before this dies in, because it's already 10:39, and this guy's got to get up in the morning and do what we do best, okay, which is going to work, right? All right, just like we all do, huh? Okay, so let's continue. You cannot hunger for tea, coffee, spiced foods, or for the various taste-tempting devices of the skilled cook. If you desire these things, it is with appetite, not with hunger. Hunger is nature's call for material to be used in building new cells, and nature never calls for anything which may not be legitimately used for this purpose. Basically saying, when your body is asking for food, that is when you eat, because that is when nature is telling you, hey, it's time to eat. But when you're eating without feeling hungry, that is called appetite. Okay, hunger is eating when you need to. Appetite is eating when you don't. Okay. Appetite is largely a matter of habit. If one eats or drinks at a certain hour, and especially if one takes sweetened or spiced and stimulating foods, the desire comes regularly at the same time. But this habitual desire for food should never be mistaken for hunger. Hunger does not appear at specific times. It only comes when work or exercise has used sufficient energy to make the taking in of new raw material a necessity. For instance, if a person has been sufficiently fed in the preceding day, it is impossible that he should feel a genuine hunger on arising from refreshing sleep. If in sleep the body is recharged with vital power, and the assimilation of the food which has been taken during the day is completed, the system has no need for food immediately after sleep, unless the person went to his rest in a state of starvation. With a system of feeding, which is even a reasonable approach to a natural one, no one can have a real hunger for an early morning breakfast. There is no such thing possible as a normal or genuine hunger immediately after arising from sound sleep. The early morning breakfast is always taken to gratify appetite, never to satisfy hunger. No matter who you are or what your condition is, no matter how hard you work or how much you are exposed, unless you go to your bed starved, you cannot arise from your bed hungry. Hunger is not caused by sleep, but by work, and it does not matter who you are or what your condition or how hard or easily you work. The so-called no breakfast plan is the right plan for you. It is the right plan for everybody because it is based on the universal law that hunger never comes until it is earned. I am aware that a protest against this will come from a large number of people who enjoy their breakfasts, whose breakfast is their best meal, who believe that their work is so hard that they cannot get through the forenoon on an empty stomach, and so on. But all their arguments fall down before the facts. They enjoy their breakfast as the toper enjoys the morning drama, because it gratifies a habitual appetite and not because it supplies a natural one. It is their best meal for the same reason that his morning dram is the toper's best drink, and they can get along without it, because millions of people of everyday trade and profession do get along without it, and are vastly better for doing so. If you are to live according to the science of being well, you must never eat until you have earned an hunger. But if you do not eat on arising in the morning, when shall I take my first meal? In 99 cases out of 112 o'clock, noon is early enough, and it is generally the most convenient time. If you are doing heavy work, you will get by noon a hunger sufficient to justify a good-sized meal, and if your work is light, you will probably still have hunger enough for a moderate meal. The best general rule or law that can be laid down is that you should eat your first meal of the day at noon. If you are hungry, and if you are not hungry, wait until you become so. And when shall I eat my second meal? Not at all, unless you are hungry for it, and that with a genuine earned hunger. If you do get hungry for a second meal, eat at the most convenient time. But do not eat until you have a really earned hunger. The reader who wishes to fully inform himself as to the reasons for this way of arranging the meal times will find the best books thereon cited on the preface of this work. From the foregoing, however, you can easily see that the science of being well readily answers the question, when and how often shall I eat? The answer is, eat when you have earned hunger, and never eat at any other time. Now that will be the end of chapter 9 of The Science of Being Well by Wallace D. Wattles. And that concludes it for this chapter. And going over that chapter, he talks about eating when you are hungry and when you have earned your hunger. Okay? He's saying the subconscious mind tells you are hungry when you need it, so it could build new cells of material within itself. Okay, when you're eating before your body's telling you to, it is simply appetite that people are doing it out of habit. Okay, that is basically the whole, what is that word I'm looking for? Peas and carrots of that chapter. And that being said, you guys, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for taking the time to learn this with me and to go over this material with me, because it is very important. With that being said, let's remember our daily affirmations. We are the lights of the world, you and me, and together we can make a difference. And that being said, you guys, I'll see you on the other side of the galaxy. Take care.